Oh, I have to excuse any sniffles I might have. I have a bit of a cold today. So, drinking my fluids. Today, what I want to do... Mace Man, welcome to the stream, buddy. What I want to do is I want to figure out what it's going to take to get to Urlum. I know that sounds kind of out there, but we have a rendezvous or a transfer window coming up soon. I kind of want to see what that's going to take. I don't know about like the Delta V requirements. It doesn't show me what that is, but we're just going to have to use our imaginations. I may have to send things to like Eve and do like a gravity assist or something with Eve in order to get there. But our transfer window for Urlum is 246 days away, and I thought, you might as well look at the thing and kind of assess the situation and see what it's going to take to get all the way out there, because that's a really far away planet. So, all right, so Kerbin's here. If I zoom out, let's see. If we zoom out, we see Urlum there. So this is further away than Sarnas, but not quite as far away as Naiden or Plock. But the contract we have is to put a network around Urlum, right? Create a network for Urlum. So the contract is we need communications coverage over the moons for Urlum as well. Not just Urlum, but the moons as well. And there are two of them, here and here. I thought there was a third, but maybe not. It doesn't seem to be, so I'm going to go with there just being two. Oh, zoom out a little bit, Charlie. Yeah, right here. And then this moon, looks like it has a moon of its own. So we're going to be busy to get out here. And, like, the sun is so far away, I don't know how we're going to keep things powered very much, but I got to try it. So, Polta, well, how much, like, how big are these? These look really small, don't they? They look awesome. I really want to visit these. Like, to touch down on these would be awesome. But it's outside the scope of our challenge. But I do want to put a satellite around it just because that's our contract, so. And then this little guy here looks more like a really large asteroid than anything else. And then this guy over here, this actually is the no, this one's the one that's more like an asteroid. Tau. It's a small moon, a natural satellite of Wall. And so these are the three things I have to put a satellite over. I have to put a satellite network around this one, and around this one. Okay. So there's actually no... The contract is not actually to put a network around Urlum itself. It's only to put it around the moons. So, we still need to get to Urlum, and then transfer out to the moons. So how do we get there? It's super far away. This is farther away than any stock planet, so... and I've never been to any, like, stock planet aside from Duna, even so. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but that's what I want to kind of try and brainstorm and figure out for this stream, is what it's going to take to get out there. So I think the first thing we're going to try and do is I need to build a vessel, just like I did Duna. I'm going to build a vessel that can transport all of the satellites in one launch, and then we can deploy those satellites later on. So how about we go to the vehicle assembly building. Gotta keep yourself hydrated, man. To answer the question how long the stream will be, I'm hoping to end it within 2 hours. So, like, to not go any longer than that. So, that's what I'm hoping to do anyway. I don't have any, like, super major important things that I have to do within the next 2 hours, specifically. But I do at 4 o'clock, so it has to be done by at least then. That would be, like, a really long stream, so. All right. I think what I'm going to do is take the sat delivery that I made for Duna and just kind of look at the sat delivery for Duna and then like figure out if this is going to be something I can use as far as a model. So this is what I made for Duna, the sat delivery for Duna. This is what's in space on its way to Duna right now. And the Duna one, let's see how many satellites are here. We need at least 9. So there's more than 9 here, I think. Well, no, because some of these are like science, which we're totally going to want to do science too, right? We definitely have to amend these top dishes because they're not going to have the range to handle that distance to Urlum. So, how would I see that inside here? I don't think I can. So now it's about how far away Urlum is. Let's see. Can I look this up? Let's see. Urlum outer planets distance. Probably should just like research this myself, which is instead of looking it up, but like whatever, it's just a distance. It's not about how much delta V it takes to get there. Not yet anyway. How far away are you, Urlum? Doesn't tell me. Density, mass, surface area. It's got a huge semi-major axis is 254 billion meters. Ah, wow. Solar day. The wiki's not telling me how far away it is from Kerbal. Is that intentional, I wonder? I wonder if that's intentional to make people actually look it up. It's got some biomes, though. It's got 5 biomes, so we could get some science around the biomes. It's a gas giant. It's an ice giant. Oh, it's not a gas giant? No, it totally is. It's got to be, right? Molecular mass. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Maybe I can show you what I'm looking at. Nah, it's okay. But I can't believe it. It doesn't actually show me how far away this is from Kerbal. Okay. Well, we can find out. What I can do is we'll take the communication satellites. This one is 800 gigameters. I gotta imagine that's enough. It's pretty far. Maximum range. But also maximum energy requirements. 5.6 electric charge per second is a bit high. If I don't need that much, then I don't want to give it that much. I think it's going to need it, though. Yeah, I think it's... Well, this one's 350 gigameters. Oh, yeah, 800. See, it's like, can I do it? Can I pull it off with 360 gigameters? 350 gigameters? Because this is half the energy requirement. Can I pull it off? Raymond Tube. How do you get... Where are you getting this number, man? Raymond Tube's got the number, but I don't know where he's getting it. I don't see it on the wiki anywhere. I'm like looking at... Well, I'm looking at fandom, but it's the Outer Planets wiki. Yeah, we would want to wait until... Well, here, actually, you know what? I bet ya. If I go... where would it be? Not? Hold on. Cancel this. If I go to Kerbal Alarm Clock... Here we go. Now, I'm wondering if this alarm actually tells me. Total delta V requirements right here, yeah. Wow, okay, so I'll need 3821. So basically, if I give it 4,000 meters per second, that can accommodate for any inefficiencies that I might get. Like, you know, a little bit of play here and there. So I need 4,000 meters per second when I reach space. Which, I mean, if we're gonna refuel at the station, isn't that big of a deal? I kind of wanted to build this satellite on Minmus so that I didn't have to go up into the atmosphere, right? So if I can get it to have 4,000 meters per second, and then, you know, do my ejection properly, which I'm not sure I can, but we'll try it. Okay. So the insertion delta V is 1299. It makes sense then that the ejection would... I get it. So basically, then I need more delta V in the individual satellites, but the main body, the main satellite needs to get to Urlum with that much left. 4,000 meters per second. Oh man. Well, I don't think this is going to be enough for, I think, obvious reasons. But it does work. If I can get this into space around Kerbal, then it does work. I'd have to do several passes because there's not nearly enough like thrust on this to actually get there, but this does technically work. It has almost 4,100 delta V. 4,100 meters per second. You know? It does work. And around Urlum, actually Urlum's pretty big. My thrust to weight ratio around Urlum is only 0.6. So I'm worried about now the timing of the burn that I'm actually going to need in order to get myself into orbit. I'm a little worried about the timing on that because of how big it is, but you can have multiple KSP launch pads and runways with Kerbal foundries. I could have a lot of things with a lot of mods. But the trick and the reason why I'm able to do this stable is because I'm being more cautious about adding mods. Like, I know FAR is supposedly working with 122 with their dev build, and it's supposedly working really well, but I'm still, even though that's working, I'm hesitant to add it. Just because it adds a lot of stuff to the game that could create instability. And right now, given all the things I've worked for to get the series back, I really value stability, I think, more than anything else. Now, these solar panels... Sorry, I have a cold. For you guys just joining, apologies for any delays. I have a cold, and it's really messing with my my system. Alright, I think these solar panels here are gonna break. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. It's definitely not what I want to do. But the thing is, though, if I leave them on here, they're gonna break. What if I send the satellites individually? It's just not efficient to do it that way. Having them have a whole bunch of fuel is going to be better, because each one of these satellites has a ton of delta V. They can get where they need to go and get in position, and that's what I need to do, so never mind. Oh man, the signal delay, though, is going to be massive. The signal delay on Urlum has got to be... It's got to be huge. I don't think this antenna is going to be needed. Let's put it here. Like this. On both sides, not necessary. Like this. And then we can rotate it like that or something. Let's see if that hits one of these dishes here. I think it might. Nope, we're good. So that's the monster dish, right? That's the no way in the world this isn't reaching where it needs to reach dish. And I think that's the one I'm gonna need for this. I don't know. I'm looking at what Raymond Tube said, and I'm looking at what Raymond Tube said if it's about distance, and it sounds to me if that's the distance, then I can get away with the other dish. I can get away with the Comtech 1, right? Because this is 350 gigameters. And if his numbers are right, then this dish should be able to reach Urlum. Plus or minus 15 minutes on the delay. Well, that's a pretty big deal. You're like, no big deal. It's only 15 minutes between your commands and it actually executing. I think that's a fairly big deal. I mean, it's not like it's not insurmountable or anything. It's not like it's gonna cause the mission to be completely screwed, but it is gonna be an obstacle to work around. I think I want to send all of these satellites. These 3 will do one planet, then these 3 can do another. That's the original intention. Is those ones are communications relays. So now for the sciencey ones, though, I could actually make one of these go one way, one of them go the other way, and then these resource ones here, these might be okay. I don't know exactly what I'll need for satellite dishes, but I'm gonna take and replace. I feel like I need dishes here. I feel like I need dishes there. If I move these down, it should be okay to move these down. If I can get it to do it. There we go. Can I get you to move all the way down? Yep, just all the way like this. Yeah, you guys are nice and tight. One big happy family. Okay. Now, I think maybe we'll take and put... I don't want to have a whole bunch of this. Like, I need something that's really light on energy. So now I'm kind of thinking I don't need that. If I just put a 32 on here, like which is already on there, 32 might be okay. These are going to be used to just communicate with each other in case they lose connections behind, you know, a planet or something. This is the main thing. Now this main unit here is going to be the only way we can communicate with Kerbal. So the main unit in this case is going to have to stick around, which is okay because this is a Terrier engine here. So this has its own engine. Okay, we're good. Okay, so if that's the case, probably this is 60 gigameters. It's not bad. You know, if I leave this, well, it's too late now, but if I put like one of these little, I just don't think it's necessary. I think as long as we have range to this, we're fine. And the 32s have Kerbal alarm clock. You're no longer required. Thank you for your services. I think this has a 5 million meter range, omnidirectional, 3 million meters. $25 gigameters, not bad. 100 gigameters, which won't be enough. Okay, so I'm thinking this is kind of what I want to build. This will be built in space. We're not going to have this be built, like, we're not going to launch this from Kerbal. This is going to get built in space. Build resources to build just this right here takes 13,000 material kits and 886 specialized parts. And then we fill up the fuel tanks, you know. So, not a big deal. I'm just trying to figure out if I need dishes on these. I'm gonna go with no. if I don't have them on these, and I leave the 32s on the edges, probably, then it just sits here like this. So now the real question is, will I have enough energy for dark time? Ooh, that's a good point. Don't know. On this thing, probably not. 3 batteries is not going to be enough here. So let's take this decoupler off. Take a look at dark time, which is not there. It's down here. Dark side calculations, please. We are going to be orbiting Urlum. We're going to be... I don't know what the altitude is we're going to be. I think we're going to be... I don't know. Let's just guess and say I'm going to be 800 kilometers above. So if that's the case, if that's where I'm going to be, then I need 4833 more. Okay, that's not hard. We'll just take these batteries off and replace it with this one. I still need 1,000. I still need 1,400 more. You know what? We'll just do some radially mounted ones. Let's go like this. Is that a good spot for it? I think so. Like this. Now I have about 1,000 electric charge surplus on this one. Good. Good enough for me. So at 800 meters above Urlum, we should be fine. But now the question is, oh no, we're not fine, because we still have to put solar panels on this thing. Yeah, that's still a thing. Solar panels aren't going to be very effective on Urlum anyway. I think for a limited time I might need to rely on a couple of RTGs. They're not going to generate enough power though. They don't. I'd have to have a lot of RTGs. This thing pulls 2.6 power per second. So actually, I kind of need 3 RTGs to fully power it. But if I just have 1 RTG, I can supplement that way. Maybe 2. If I strap 2 of these underneath, like it looks a little weird, but if I strap 2 of these underneath this thing and then just kind of suck it in, this. Kind of cool. That will supply me with 1.6 electric charge per second. How long do RTGs last? They decay over time, don't they? Constant stable power for decades. Can supply the power for decades. It doesn't say it's going to expire at all, so maybe not. All right, well, we'll assume that it's going to stay at least long enough for us to get our network up. I think that's probably going to do it then. So we got the satellite here. This according to Raymond Tube in the comments, is going to be a dish that's has the distance long enough to reach Urlum. Two RTGs will provide 1.6 electric charge per second, which is not enough to fully power the Comtech 1, like all by itself. So let's put a couple of solar panels on here too. Maybe we'll take this. I think this needs to move. This Comtech needs to move. We'll put this maybe like underneath here. Stick it like right there. And then we'll need to rotate it out. Whoops. About like this, maybe. Hey, new subscribers. Nice. So, you guys just saw like a preview of a new system I have installed for these live streams where we get to see a preview of, like, you know, people joining, people who subscribe, And, you know, it's really good stuff there. So I like that. I think that's cool. The same thing will happen, slightly different skin, but the same thing will happen on like super chats and stuff too. And it sticks around a little longer for those. Let's move this up. Move this in. So I think we're gonna do this here. Firecraft, thanks for the sub. I think I'm gonna move this up. Oh, now everybody's trying to figure it out. They're all like, hey, I wanna get my name on there too. That's the whole point of the system. The hope is to gain growth by that type of thing, where people see it and then they go, hey, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. I did a social experiment on someone else's live stream recently to see if this was something that was like viable for what I wanted, and turned out it's pretty good. This antenna right here doesn't appear to be hitting anything, so I think we're good on that antenna. So we'll just kind of take, whoops. Yep, take this antenna here and retract it. Okay, that can stay there. So now solar panels. I'm thinking 4 of these. No, you know, there's a bigger one. There's a bigger one that I have from a mod. RTGs don't degrade in KSP. You know, that's good. Good to know. I'm excited about that, because that means I get to kind of abuse the system a little bit if they don't degrade. So that'll be good. So how about we go with Ariel? What is your stream schedule? Well, that's complicated. My work schedule is easier to tell you, but my stream schedule is complicated, and that's why it's not consistent, because of how complicated it is. But I want to tell you that I would really like to... Are we really getting this many subs? Is that actually a thing, or are people just abusing it? That would be the fastest sub growth ever. Hold on. Not ever, but, you know. What are these? I'm thinking of using these. Ho 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 ho! Bam! You know, those actually work really, really well. They look cool too, don't they? They cannot be retracted. So once I extend these, that would be it. But I think that's going to cover the electrical needs. These are supposedly able to pull in... Where is it? Right here. These are supposedly able to do 100 per second. So I don't think I even need the RTGs if I use these. Thing is, though, this is like... See, I want to know if people are abusing the sub pop-up, or if these are real names. I don't know. I have to find out. Are you guys seeing the same name like multiple times? I saw Bob Kerman. I did see Bob Kerman. That's the only one I like really, really saw, aside from like Firecracker and like a couple of other ones. But yeah, it's cool. All right, so I'm thinking if I use these, I don't need these RTGs. How much do the RTGs cost? It costs 23,000 each. Goodbye. All right, so I think this will do it. We can extend these. We'll use these for solar panels on this bad boy. This will be our interplanetary relay satellite around Urlum. And then the rest of these satellites will communicate with this one in order to get a signal to Kerbal. So now the question is, do I have enough satellites for all 3 moons? 1, 2, 3. I need three minimum for the network. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technically, I need 1 more regular old satellite, I think. There's 4 here, 4 here, that's 8. 9, 10. Like, I need extras, I think. Especially since these, I'm not sure they're gonna last. I think they have enough power to last like indefinitely, because they're Really, they're only using the Communitron 32 for power consumption, so... KSP is one of those games you get out of it what you put in. Yeah. And you have to put in a lot to get where we are right now. This is... I easily have... At this point, I gotta imagine I easily have 1,500 hours in this game. Like, the amount of time that Steam says is not accurate because I don't play in the Steam folder anymore, so... every once in a while I will, because the Steam folder is actually my Realism Overhaul folder, because I'm working on kind of a mod list that works with that, as well as learning some of the new basics. I say new basics, but more realistic basics. Alright, so if I built this, got this into space, it would have 3816 delta V. Now that's not enough. It's not enough to pull off our move, so I'm gonna need more fuel. This is all liquid fuel here. It's all full. I'm gonna need more liquid fuel. So I could put a couple of extra tanks right here on the sides, radially mount them, and that should be okay. The problem with it though is that once I release this satellite, it might run into the tank. Same thing applies for here. That's why they're staggered like this, so that when I release them, they don't hit each other. So I'm thinking, as far as fuel goes, I only need a little bit more. Those are too big. Those are like kind of what I'm looking for, but they're still a little bit too big. These satellites are gonna have their solar panels wrecked. Like, this is not gonna work right here. Are these exactly the same? If they're identical, I can fix it. It appears as though they are. Wait, maybe we go like this. Hold on. Can I drag this out a little bit? Like this? The question is though, like, does the rigidity of this actually get sacrificed because, or is the strength of this thing? Because it's kind of like not connected now. That's connected right there, which is kinda close. I'm wondering if these are, yeah, because the solar panels on both of these, here, 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 and here, they're gonna get smashed as soon as they decouple, which is no good. And there's a possible collision gonna happen here with the batteries as well. I can suck the batteries in a little bit. That's not a problem. Actually, it looks a little better if I do it that way. Yep. Can suck those in a little bit. Kind of maybe pick it up just a tad. Yeah, that looks better. I think I need to move these and get them to where they're a little bit more safe. So how about I just move you. And let's fix that. I need to have something to attach this to, which shouldn't be very hard. We have structural stuff, so honestly, a little cubic truss probably is enough to fix it. If I do that and then attach you, no. Oh, can you not? Can you not do that? Wait. Hold on, what do you... I'm kind of lost here. Are you not gonna... Really? So you won't attach again if I... There's no way to attach this. There's no attachment points on this. Okay. Let's try this. We'll undo. Alright, so if I undo this, bring it back, attach it. Alright, now, let's say I take these away. Should be, yeah, these should be identical. So doing that should allow me to attach them again. Yep, that is an attachment point. Good. And then this can go like this. Good. So what I want to do is attach this. Yep, like that. But I want to attach it on another like structural element. So like if I want to attach it to this. Something like this. There we go. Not sure why it wouldn't let me do it before, but I'll take it. Does that look okay? It kind of looks cool, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it belongs that way? I think it does. Now this looks a little strange. The square bit here looks a little strange. So we can always suck this in. Be about like that. Maybe a tad bit more. You know? Something like that. And so I should be able to now attach this to here. Yep, solar panels are safe. Attach this to here. And solar panels are safe. Now I can suck them in a little bit more if I want to. But it gives me that little extra distance that I needed to keep these solar panels from hitting the sidewall. So I think that's good. From hitting the tank. Okay, so that should be good enough. 3804 is what is the delta V we're going to have from Kerbal. 3804 is not enough to reach Urlum. It's close, but it's not enough, so I still need the fuel. I still have a fuel problem. So I think I want to nest some fuel somewhere, like hide some fuel somewhere. Someplace where I can decouple it and get rid of it. For the sake of mass. So how about I'm trying to think of how I want to best approach this. If I was to use one of these. No, the one that's not a dim-witted experiment, this one. If I was to use two of these really low, like right here. And then take radially mounted fuel tanks. I don't even need radially mounted fuel tanks now that I have the decouplers like this. So I could. I want some like small tanks, like really tiny ones. This ought to do it. The Oscar D's. Right? And then change this to be liquid fuel only. Turn on crossfeed. And we're not getting any. There's no change. There's no change in DV. Why not? Oh, because these are below. Yeah, they gotta be above the engine. Smart guy. Okay, so now stage 3 has 431, and then the next stage has 3804. So this is more than we need. So we're good here. Let's cap these off with like a little. We don't really need aerodynamics. We're not gonna be launching this from atmosphere, so we don't need aerodynamics. So there's no reason to add the weight. I think we're good. So now let's take and move this down a little closer to the ground. A little closer to the ground, I think. About like that. Let's put some launch clamps on this. Launch clamps. Where is that? Structural? All the mods, they're moving things around. I think it's this one, yep. Put a couple of clamps like that. That should keep it in place really well on min-miss. So we'll build this on min-miss. Then we can send it up. It's gonna have an extra 400 or so delta V. We're gonna get a little bit of a gravity assist going back to Kerbal before we try to blast ourselves into a solar orbit. Now I'm worried about heat. I don't think we have to worry about heat too much, but I'm kind of worried about heat. We've got a whole bunch of, you got some Russians in the comments? I don't speak Russian, so I'm not going to be able to, respond to you other than to say hi. I don't speak their language. It would be sweet. Wouldn't it be sweet if we didn't have... I know it's kind of weird to say this because it's not really that sweet. I kind of like the diversity in Earth. It's like that we have a whole bunch of different languages, but wouldn't it be sweet if you could always understand everyone? I think that would be cool. All right, so let's test. I want to kind of test this theory. So if I was to... I think I might need a bit more fuel, honestly, because I'm going to have to launch this from Minmus. That means I need to get this up into orbit. There's tons of reaction wheels on this thing, so it'll totally navigate itself in space no problem without RCS. Without having RCS, it also reduces our part count and also reduces our mass. Because we don't need RCS. I'm still on that. Don't need it. I'm thinking though, I think I'm going to need more fuel. Just a little bit more. So if I was to... That's way too big. Where's those little ones? These Oscars. Where's the Oscar tanks? Right here. This is the Oscar D, which is the one I just used. These... Okay, this is a fuel tank cap. Is that going to provide enough? Put a cap on this side. And then if I put a cap on the other side too. Does that provide enough? It only gave me an extra 50. Only gave me an extra 50, but the 50 might be alright. What's the thrust to weight ratio on Minmus? More than I need. Okay. I think I still need more on the fuel side of things. So how about... Let's take the caps. We'll leave the caps. Now this one... Wait a minute, what's the fuel differences here? This can hold 90 liquid fuel, and this can hold 240. But they're basically the same size. Really? This holds 90, and this holds 240. Okay. Well, there's no reason to ever use that tank then. I'm thinking that I need to have... If I just use 2 of these tanks, right? I need to mount it independently. So maybe we just copy this. Let's try this. Let's put the caps back on. Yep. Like that, and then like that. We'll copy this. Ooh, it's gonna get in the way of that. Well, if I offset it though, it'll be fine. I think. If I put it like this, it's a little weird, but it doesn't get in the way of anything. And when I eject it, it's not gonna hit anything, which is kind of the important thing. Could also put it up here and eject it, which is probably safer and a bit more realistically placed. If I put it up here then, right here in the middle, about like that. So that gives me enough. Yep, that gives me almost an additional 1,000 more than I need, 900 or so more than I need. So that's probably pretty good. I think that'll work. So many people in the stream now. Hey guys, welcome. We're on our way to Urlum, or at least we're building a craft. These are the brainstorming streams. If you ever see a title for a live stream for me that says Conquering KSP Brainstorming Stream, that's a stream in which we are planning something for the overall KSP series. The overall KSP series which is Conquering Kerbal Space Program. That's available on the channel as well if you haven't seen that. We're 90 episodes in as far as recorded. 89 is public. My 90th episode's not done editing yet, but we're almost 90 episodes in on that. So you have lots of catching up to do, but I think it's totally worth it because it's a nice series. People seem to like it, and the overall goal of the series is very ambitious. So that's what's attractive, I think, to a lot of people, is wanting to see the actual goal actually happen. I think this is good. I think this will work just fine. So we burn a little bit until the side tanks are empty. Then we just eject them. And that will give us a little bit more delta V on this stage due to the loss in that little bit of mass. So once we start our burn, we basically just start the burn, which is going to be to circularize around min-miss. I don't believe we'll get circularized around min-miss before these tanks are empty, so when we eject them, these tanks will crash into min-miss so we won't have any space junk. That's the hope. Then, once we're circularized around min-miss, we'll burn backwards a little bit to get a rendezvous with Kerbin again. We'll use Kerbin's gravity as a small gravity assist. We'll angle ourselves appropriately on that return so that we can, again, use Kerbin's gravity. O-berth effect, right? You've heard of that before, probably. We'll burn a little bit and get ourselves out to Urlum. The problem is I don't think we can actually burn fast enough with the nuclear engine, so we're gonna probably have to do two passes around Kerbin, which I don't know if will be possible now that we're coming from min-miss. But if all else fails, then we'll get our ejection at the right timing. We'll be in a solar orbit, if you will, right? And then we'll just burn when we're in solar orbit. We'll just burn again to get our rendezvous with Urlum then. I don't think that'll be all that much different, I wouldn't think. If it is different, cool, we've got an extra 800 meters per second. So I want to test this and see if it's even possible to do this. So what I want to do now is we're gonna save this as Urlum sat delivery. Urlum sat delivery. Initial ground-based delivery vehicle. No, that's not the description. Urlum sat contract delivery. Cool. Save. Now I'm gonna launch this, but no, I need the launch clamps. Hang on. Why are the launch clamps gone? Did I get rid of them? I didn't mean to get rid of them. Bring them back. Right about here ought to do it. Yeah. So what I want to do is I'm going to save this first and foremost, and we're going to also have the launch clamps be on the first stage. Yep. It won't matter. Well, it will on min-miss. It'll matter then. So let's save. And we'll launch this. So this, yes, this craft is going to be built on min-miss. It's not launching from Kerbin. We're going to launch this on min-miss. So, which is going to dramatically reduce the costs, because this type of setup, launching it from Kerbin, it would cost me millions. I have to imagine it would cost a lot of money. Just the initial stages to get it up there alone, and trying to figure out where to place the engines and the staging, it cost me well over $1 million to do it. And I don't want to spend over $1 million on a contract that gets me, right? Because remember, this is a contract. We're getting paid for this. $742,000. We're getting paid for this. 742,000 pesos. I don't want to spend $1 million, right? When I'm only getting 742,000 pesos. So this is my answer to that. Which I actually need to see how much money I have left. How much do I have left here? I have 328 left, which means this craft is just over 300,000. So my profit will be about 400,000 from this. But the cool thing is we're going to Urlum. So not a whole lot of profit, but we're going to Urlum. So cool, right? All right, so what I'm going to do to test this is I'm going to cheat it into space around Minmus. So let's get it into space around Minmus. This orbit will be too high, but let's maybe do it like this. Yep. Now this is what's going to happen. We'll have a huge graphical glitch because this always happens every single time I do it. So we'll see like a whole bunch of water or whatever happening here. And then what I have to do is I have to go into map view and actually I don't even know what's going to be required to get rid of this glitch. I honestly don't know. But kind of want to be closer to Minmus, so maybe we'll adjust our orbit again and be more realistic what we're going to be on Minmus, which is around probably 20k. Probably closer to what we'll be, so if I set this as my orbit, does that not do it? I don't know how to... I admit I don't know how to read semi-major axis very well. I wish this would just give me like actual surface altitude, if you will. But whatever, it's fine. I'll drag this down until it's about where I want. I mean, it's close to what I'm looking for. 46. I don't think it's gonna be close. It'll be fine. It'll be about the same is what I'm looking for. So, if that was the case, I probably could have done this in Sandbox a little easier, but I wanted it to be the real thing. I wanted it to be all the same conditions. Now, there's no guarantees actually that we'll be in this position when we go to Urlum. Ideally, I would like to be in this position, right? This would be the greatest. This would be a great position to be in. Then we could burn that way, get out of Minmus's orbit, but still be captured by Kerbal. Then go around Kerbal and fling ourselves out further. But it might not even be worth it. Flinging ourselves out further like that might even be worth it. Plus, Minmus's... I'll need to also adjust my inclination with Minmus to match what I need for my... That's kind of complicating things a lot. I still think it's worth it, though. Obviously, we need to build it in space, so that'll happen. So if I open up Kerbal Engineer right now... Yep, we're still going to get all these flashy things. And this will stick around until I reload the craft. So what I could do... No, I can't do that because as soon as I exit, then this craft becomes something that actually exists in the game and I can't revert the flight. So, I don't want to give people seizures though. That's the thing. If I turn trajectories off, does that make a difference at all? No, it's not making a difference at all. There's still a graphical thing that I can't figure out how to solve. It's just the way it'll be. Okay, so... what are we talking about in the comments here? Do 15. Put 0 and KPS will correct you. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. It'll give me the minimum required to orbit is what that'll do. Which, I wonder what the game considers to be the minimum required to orbit with Minmus. Apparently, it's, wow. The minimum required to orbit safely on Minmus is 7650. That's really low. Which I can't see because of this. I wonder if I revert the flight and try again, if this graphical thing will go away. Oh, the video's only gotten 20 likes? Lame. 43 viewers. I want to see more likes. You, out there, like the video. Seriously. If you're still watching, like, clearly, it's attracted to you. You've been attracted to it, right? I don't beg for things, so if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, and that's just the way it is. All right, so I'm going to take and... like this. Okay. So... rendezvous is not required. let's just put it in orbit of Kerbin for now and see what that does. If I put it in orbit of Kerbin first, then we hopefully don't have any problems with graphics. Nope, we're fine. Okay, now I don't want this to be out, but just for the sake of making sure we don't run into power or run out of power, I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, no connection, right? Yeah, no connection. We won't have this problem when I launch it for real because, like, we'll have a connection. We'll have an engineer to go out there, just walk out there and flip a switch, and look, an antenna popped out. Oh, someone unliked. Well, good for you, unliker. You feel proud of yourself? Big man now, unliking a video. Just kidding. All right, how about we actually do this in a way that's going to allow us to control it? I think that's probably a good idea. I'll just put this one out for now. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter which one, as long as there's one out. Okay, and now we'll do this again. Does Kerbin go? We're in orbit now. We're going to stage so that we actually have some power and thrust in here. So the first stage we have has 929 meters per second. That should be enough, hypothetically, that should be enough to clear Kerbin's orbit. Easy. That should be enough to get out of Kerbin. And then the rest of this is to get to Urlum and then also to get captured by Urlum. So if for some reason we're unable to get captured by Urlum with this, what I can do is, as we're floating away from Urlum and we're like, no, we couldn't get captured, I can just go ahead and take all these satellites and, like, one at a time, get it out, decouple it, and then burn, get captured, decouple it, burn, get captured, decouple it, burn, get captured. The problem with that, though, is that it'll take 15 seconds or 15 minutes probably. I am curious to see what the delay will be, but let's get these solar panels out so that I can at least make sure I don't lose electricity during this test. Now, like I said before, this is going to be around min-miss, so no graphical glitches so far. So if I was to put myself, let's just take off the 6 here and leave it like this. If I was to put myself around min-miss like this, okay, they've got a little glitching happening, but it's nowhere near what it was before, so I'm totally cool with it. So now we just got some flickering effects, so whatever. Okay, so from here, we're orbiting around min-miss at currently, what? 26,000. That's pretty close to what I would probably be. So to get around Kerbin, I would want to burn outwards. Let's make sure we're facing the right direction for that. We are, actually. Now, we're nowhere near the ejection angle required for Urlum. So, like, Urlum's we're not in alignment, we're not in position right now, so it's like we're not going to get there right now. But Urlum is this one over here. So we're going a long way. Going a long way. Are these new headphones? Nope. Actually, the headphones that I'm currently wearing are the same headphones I've had for the last year. They're by far my favorite headphones I've ever owned. Although, admittedly, they are pretty expensive. I use them for production purposes because I want my videos to sound good. And sound is, like, to me, sound is more important than video, even. So I want them to sound good. And in order to know if they sound right, if they sound perfect, gotta have good headphones. These are the Audio-Technica ATH MX50BLs. And they're not cheap at all. If you watch the vlog, if you watch the Be a Better YouTuber vlog that I have on the channel, there's only 4 videos in that vlog so far, but if you watch that one, the last episode I put out, there's a link in the description for all of my gear that I have. Like, throughout that vlog, there's always going to be links in the description for all the gear that I own and, like, that I use on an everyday basis. So if you're interested in what they are specifically and want to check them out, you can look the links in the descriptions of those videos. I think part 4 has the headphones in there, as well as the microphone, the stabilizer here. I'm drawing a blank on all the names now. If you're just joining us, hi, thanks for watching. I'm a little sick, so my voice might sound a little nasally, might be like, you know, coughing or something. I haven't coughed yet, though. I'm pretty surprised about that. But I'm also drawing a mental blank on a lot of things. But the arm that I use, and the keyboard, the mouse, the shock mount that's here, my little filter that I have here, pop filter, all that stuff. It's all in the descriptions of those videos. If you want to be a YouTuber too, you want some good gear, check it out. It's cool. If you decide to buy anything off my links, helps the channel grow too. And you get it for the same price as you would have anyway. So I think in order to test this, to see if I have enough delta V, it's really just about getting a maneuver to go to Urlum. But the problem with that is that they're not in alignment. So in order to test it, I'm just going to assume that this is good. Like, I don't really need to test this. It's numbers are numbers, right? So the delta V I have is the delta V I have. So let's make a maneuver here. Let's assume that we're going to leave on the dark side of Minmus. Not necessarily the dark side later on, but at least the side that's facing away from the sun. So it'll always be the dark side of Minmus, yeah. So let's assume we leave on the dark side of Minmus. How much delta V does it take to get out of range, or to get out of Minmus' sphere of influence? Not a whole lot. It's going to take, like, what, 70? Not even 70? Nope, 56. That's what it takes to get out of range from Minmus, 56. But if we're going to use Kerbal as... If we're going to use Kerbal's gravity, then we're going to want to go backwards first. So we'll go this way instead. Which is going to take us a little more. Alright, what's going on here? Why are my... Oh, you dumbass. Delete this. Go on the light side. Mad maneuver. You dumbass. Alright. Let's see. Maneuver would be about here, then. And then we would go prograde about 56, right? Close-ish. 56-ish. 53... 55, 56, yep. So a little bit less than 55. So if we go retrograde to Kerbal's, or relative to Kerbal here, which in this case is burning on the light side, we're going to bring our orbit down towards Kerbal, right? And we can get there to about... I want to get as close to Kerbal as possible, so... About like this. Nope, 183 is not close enough. I want to be really close. That would be too close. That would be deadly close. How about not deadly close? Preferably not deadly close. And preferably not in the atmosphere at all. Alright, now. Gonna have to have a bit more precision. How much more precision I can get here. Right about... Oh, these numbers are totally wrong. What am I looking at those for? Shouldn't be looking at those. 34. Okay. 35, 36, 37. So right about... there. 71. 71,491, I'm good with that. Now, theoretically, I probably won't get that precise when I burn, but let's say I do get that precise. That would cost me 172 meters per second in order to get here, right? Now, the reason why we're launching this from Minmus, the reason why we're building this on Minmus to launch first, is... My site's not working, huh? Really? Really? Okay. Give it about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then it will. Actually, by the time you hear this message, by the time you hear this, it will have already been up, I think. Let's test this. I'm going to look at my site now and make sure it's actually working. I need to move to another hosting environment or a new server. I need to transfer to a new server. I've got something wrong with my configuration that causes my sites to crash like every 3 or 4 days. And then I have to like do a quick little reboot for them to get them to work again. It's really annoying, but it's just the way it is. Everything should be working now, guys. Sorry. It's just something I have to figure out for myself. None of my clients have this problem anymore. One of my clients did have the problem, but they were hacked. And like, it's possible there's somebody running a script on it, I guess, because like I do so much for other people that I sometimes neglect my own stuff. So I guess it's possible that I have the same problem he did. But I think I'm about ready to like just kind of let someone else handle my hosting from now on. I've been handling my own hosting for like 2 years, like my own VPS, configure my server myself, and just kind of do things. And it's been saving me a lot of money. I have 21 websites that I have, like 18 now. I got rid of 2 of them or 3 of them. Yeah, I have like 18 websites now on the server, and a lot of it's just staging environment that I'm using for clients and stuff, and that's really great. And I have super fast sites. They all have really great speed rankings, and I have like 20 something sites, and that's or high teens, and it's costing me like nothing. Basically, it's costing me $20 a month for all that, and it's excellently managed. I work with Nginx. I have excellent server-side caching solutions, database caching solutions. It's just there's just something wrong with the configuration that I'm using. There's just something a little bit off, and that's causing me to have problems that way. So we're not going to be able to fully test this just because like it's within the actual save and their actual Kerbal's lives. They're going to go to tourists and stuff. But if I was to do this, let's say, and burn this first, then once I get to, let's say here at the apoapsis, actually let's set Kerbal as the target. Oh, we'll set the PISS as the target, whatever, it's fine. Then when we get to here, the ascending node, we'd make a small burn, let's say, to adjust our inclination around Kerbal a little bit, which would cost us basically nothing. Let's say, hypothetically, that this is what we wanted. Well, if I adjust the inclination this way, it actually kicks us out this way, which is no good. I think if I go retrograde here a little bit, bring this down retrograde a little bit. So hypothetically, we go about like that, right? So that's going to cost us an extra 40, 45. So now we're up to just over 200. And then let's say from there, we make a maneuver. Gotta find the... Can I center on Kerbal? Thank you. Say hypothetically we make it there. Let's just assume that this is the right inclination. It's not, but let's assume that it is. Then at the periapsis, we'll want another maneuver. And that maneuver, we could leave Kerbal's sphere of influence for how much? How much would it cost us to leave Kerbal's SOI? So it would cost us about 12. About 12 meters per second will allow us to leave Kerbal's atmosphere from that. So if we can line up our timing right, under the condition that we can line our timing up right, we can get ourselves out of Kerbal's influence with a maneuver to get ready to burn to Urlum. We can do that for a mere 12 meters per second, which is fine because our thrust-to-weight ratio on this vehicle is terrible. So we're not going to be able to go very far. But if we burn, like if we start our burn here, for example, or maybe like here, and we go all the way to around here, it's reasonable to assume we could get, I'm going to say, like, maybe at least 120 or so influence on this thing. So if that's the case, we would have an influence that's about like this before the nuclear engine had to be like stopped because we were really inefficient at that point. And so we would already be, well, in this situation we're actually going down. So, but it's really hard to judge where this is going to have to be because Urlum's position. So we're just going to have to go off numbers. That's all there is to it. It had to go off numbers. So if your numbers are right, if the guy in the comments numbers are right, he said that, well, it's not his numbers that are actually this way. Our numbers that we're reading here are from Kerbal Alarm Clock. So if the Kerbal Alarm Clock numbers are right, then we only need 3,840 something meters per second of delta V to make this happen, right? Kerbal Alarm Clock. Urlum's here. Total delta V needed for this maneuver is 3,821. 3,821 is... I mean, this stage, without these little tanks being added, we have almost enough already. But now, we're going to have more, right? Now we're going to have 4,733. So more than enough, which is always good. Have a little bit of cushion. And that will also allow us to accommodate for, you know, our ejection angles and things like that. Our timings can be a little bit different, so maybe it's not super efficient anymore, but it's still good. I think... Always trust guy in the comments. I forgot what his name is. He hasn't commented in a while, so he might have left, but I think his name is like Raymond something, I think. But he told me the distance between Kerbin and Urlum. I'm not sure what point that distance is. I'm hoping that it was the furthest possible point away. Because actually, I think we can find that out. We can find that out, I think. If I go, we'll have this be our delivery vehicle. This is what we're going to build on. This is what we're going to build on Mimus right here. So, and this is really nice because it's going to provide us with a good energy for all the solar panels, but also because this is science equipment. These two satellites are science equipment. We have a whole bunch of science experiments here. So we'll be able to do a whole bunch of science around Urlum, which is massive, awesome. And then we'll also be able to do resource gathering as well. We can also scan the bodies for resources if we want to. Not that we're ever going to want to go out there for resources, but let's assume someday we might. We have that equipment. Total cost for the vessel is 362,000. However, because we're building it on Mimus, the cost of the vehicle is free. We just need to have the infrastructure in place for material kits and stuff. So I think that's going to work. I'm pretty happy about this. I think that's going to work. My fuel tank end caps have oxidizer in them? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I was going to try and find something smart ass to say like it was all part of the plan, but it's not. So if I take the oxidizer out, this actually should increase. Yep, behave and have even more delta V than before. Yep, 996 in that stage now. And then like that. Yeah, more than enough. Yep, these are all liquid fuel now too because of symmetry mode. Yep. So there we go, guys. This is our package delivery for Urlum. And you know what? Like, if this can reach Urlum, then I'm pretty confident we can build anything to put a network around any planet if we can reach Urlum with this. I mean, granted, there are 2 other planets that are further away from Urlum, or further away from Kerbin. But when you're talking about that much distance, the differences in delta V required to reach them under proper timings, it's not really all that different, I don't think. I could build 2 of these, which is probably a good idea in case I mess one up. I can just send another one without having to wait for the build process again. I could build 2 of these, and I could send the second one that I build. I could send it out to Sarnus or something, you know? So that'll be fun, I think. Now my hope here my hope here, for the sake of the series and everything, for the sake of the let's see, office floor mat shipped. Okay, checking my notifications. I'm gonna have to go in about 20 minutes at most, so got new people to talk to, got new clients to talk to. It really sucks because like I really enjoy the gaming on the channel. I know like pretty much everybody watching here is probably enjoying it too. I really enjoy this, and it's like I want to do this all the time, but I also really need people to hire me for things. And so like the better I do at marketing myself and the better I do at gaining more business, the worse I can do at YouTube. So it's really like this there's a really big conflict there. It's like I really want to do this part, but I really have to do, I still enjoy this part over here, but like I really enjoy this part. I can't do this part when there's more of this part. Adult problems, man. Adult problems. Okay. So what I want to do, what I want to show you is I have the Duna Probes strategy active right now. I don't really think I need this to be here during this screen. I have the Duna Probes contract or strategy active right now. What this does is it gives me bonuses towards the efforts that I'm using with unmanned vessels in Duna, which is perfect. In order to satisfy this strategy, I have to land a probe in 3 different biomes in Duna. I'm on my way to doing that. I think that's it. And we get plus 400% funds to all the milestone gains we get for Duna while that's happening. But we lose 80% of the funds for all the milestone gains we get for other bodies. So this is really going to rob us of all the milestone gains we can get. And in order to activate these strategies, you can't have a vessel already on its way. Must not have vessels en route, which means that I need to complete this. If I wanted to do this the best possible way, I need to complete this before I launch a satellite to Urlum. And if I can do that, then I can activate the Urlum program here and get like a whole bunch of stuff for this. I'm not going to do that. Hold on. Yeah, must not have any vessels en route to Urlum. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that, I don't think. I would love to do it because it's really like a pretty decent reward. We get a $2.5 million advance for this too. But the objectives here is to plant flags on Polta, Preax, and Wall. Plant flags on the moons for Urlum, which we're not going to be able to do right now, especially with Kerbals. So, plus when you activate one of these, you kind of like limit yourself in the programs you can do anyway, the other programs you can do. So I wouldn't want to do that. I wonder if like I could activate any of these other ones. Cost to launch crewed vessels increased by 100%. I don't want to do that. I can reduce it here though. Plus 25,000 funds when science is transmitted or recovered from new biomes. That's kind of nice. Plus 50,000 funds. Ooh. Plus 200,000 funds when science is transmitted from a new celestial body. Now that, I don't know if that, I think that works. Because I haven't transmitted any science from Duna yet. That's kind of cool. Plus 100% funds to milestone gains for bodies other than Kerbin. You know, I actually think this is a good place. I think this is a good thing to do here. Boldly go 3. I don't see any downsides to this one. Let's grab this. Oh, see, now it's going to cost me 400,000 funds. That's the downside. But I think it's worth it. Maybe not right this minute. Maybe not right now. How much time until we have our Duna? Our Duna satellite delivery is happening in 87 days. You know, I can always do other contracts to get more money. I have high resolution scans for Duna. Yeah, Duna. All my contracts are Duna based right now. So once we reach Duna, we're going to have some mad cash. Because all my contracts I have selected, for the most part, are Duna based. I could do the space tourism. This will help me get money. I get 110,000 for that. I think it's worth it. Duna probes, explore Duna. Put a satellite in orbit of Kerbin. I could do these other satellite contracts too. Put a new satellite in these certain orbits and stuff. Orbit a probe and return it safely home. That's really easy to do. 36,000. I think it's worth it. I'm going to do it. Administration building. Boldly go 3. Let's grab that. So now we'll have a whole bunch of funds coming in for new science and stuff, which is good. What else? Free ice cream. Cost 20,000 funds every 30 days. That's not something I'm going to do. Stagnated research. That's not something I'm going to do. How about scientist focus? 100% to rewards for science collection contracts when a scientist is present. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I don't see any downsides to this. It only costs 100k to start it. All scientists perform as if they had one more level of experience. Yeah. I think that's probably good. What do I need for scientist 3? Oh, I need 10,000 more funds. And then like a little bit more science. But then I can get even better. I'm going to wait and then do scientist 3. Okay. So we figured out what we're going to do for Urlum, guys. That was the purpose of this stream. That was the purpose of my brainstorm here. So I think I'm done for the stream. I think we're done brainstorming for today. I could do the same thing for Eve as well. It doesn't take nearly as much Delta V to do that for Eve, but I could do the same. The same vessel is still good for Eve. It actually is overkill for Eve. No, not really, actually, because I need to do network, and then there's the polar orbits for the mining stuff. No, I think it's fine. Yeah. Then what I'm going to do, because technically I can't make a network on one of the planets for Urlum, I technically can't make a. Let me show you a tracking station. All right. You missed the picture of my dog in the background. I don't. I don't at all. Okay, so Urlum is over here, way over here. So the satellite network, right? It's gonna be the same as we did around Kerbal Sphere of Influence. We're gonna have. I need to do it around the moons, not around Urlum. But the one satellite is gonna be around Urlum. How far away is this from this? I wish I could tell. Is it close enough to where one... I don't think it is, actually. Ooh. Okay, I can make a small amendment. We're going to put another directional satellite on the main unit, the big one with the big satellite dish. And then we'll have that satellite orbiting Urlum. I'm going to throw some science equipment on that satellite too, because I think there's room for it, and we're going to be around Urlum. So the other ones, or we could just like put the main unit in orbit of Urlum, right? And then we'll do all our science experiments with the satellites that are there, and then we'll get them out to the other moons. But it would probably be nice to, if we can somehow get an encounter with Wall here, it might be nice to... Yeah, timing that is not going to be possible. But under the rare occurrence that we can actually get through Wall on our way to Urlum, I can actually drop off some of the satellites on our way and like have them... The delay is going to cause me not to be able to do that, though. Anyway, so we do a triangle pattern for the satellite network, right? So it's a triangle, just like we have around Kerbal. It won't be here, though. It'll be on each of the moons. So like this one, for example, we'll have a really small triangle pattern here, here, here kind of thing. And then this one will have the same thing. Here, here, here. And then Wall might be a little more complicated because Wall actually has another natural satellite. It's pretty small. I don't think it'll interfere with us, but it's possible. So I have to look out for that. But it's kind of cool, isn't it? It'd be really nice to land here. I might send one of my scouts, the ones who don't get any, who never get sick, homesick. I might send one of the scouts out to explore Urlum. Dedicate a good 80, I don't know how many years. Dedicate a good 60 years of his life to Urlum. All right. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this stream. That's planning for Urlum. I think we planned well. I think we're going to be prepared. Now it's just a matter of getting the base on Minmus Where is it? Kerbal. Now it's just a matter of getting the base on Minmus to be ready to rock, you know? It's right here. Whoa, is this a contract landing spot? It is. Looks like for a couple of contracts. Wait, what contracts offered to land on our base? Is this like a rotate crew kind of contract? What is it? It's, oh, do a supply run to the base. Okay. It's still calling this the PII Broadsword Minmus base. I need to change the name of the base. Communication problems on board the base. No, there's not. There's no communications problems. But if there was, all I have to do is have an engineer go out there. Which is like really easy because there's already an engineer there. So I'd get 77 grand for that really quick. Okay. So maybe I will accept that one because it's just like go outside and then come back in. Crew expansion. That's not going to happen until we're really set up with habitation. Science expansion might happen, but I think pretty sure we've already been in that biome, so there's really no point. Rotate the crew. I could do this stuff, but anyway. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching the Brainstorm stream. Appreciate it. And if you like the stream, of course, give me a thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Really helps these streams grow and be awesome. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a little subscribe button below the video. You can subscribe if you like the content. Check out the other videos on the channel as well. I'm hoping to produce more of them more often, but right now and probably within the next 3 weeks, for the next 3 weeks or so, work is hitting me hard. I'm trying my best to like focus on that so I can get it out of the way. Focus on other things. And if you can't see it behind me very well, but if you check out the vlog series on the channel, you'll see it better. I'm actually about to make another video for that right now because I just got some packages. Mail day. And those packages are going to help me a lot because it's my green screen stuff that I can set up. So, yeah, that's it. So, see you later. Really bad. Yeah, see? More subscribers. Yay. I will see you next time. It's been fun. Bye.